Looking at the actual road markings this time, I go to signage, add road markings, traverse markings. Let's put in a stop line. You have the option of also specifying text. I just want the line in your own customized width. Clicking on my start position, indicate stop position, right click and quit. Looking at the linear markings, I'm going back to signage. We give you a whole library of markings that you can choose from. So I'm going to use one of these. I'm going to show you how it's done. I go to right edge lane. I'm going to use the standard. In that case, I'll use the entire road display line. I'm going to ignore find gap point. The start gap will be where I click. The width of the line that I draw is going to be 150 mils. And then the offset from the road display line will be 100 mils. Going on the inside of the road display line, left click. We also give you the option of putting in the left hand side. Instead, I'm going to go back to signage, and I'm going to go and customize my linear marking. I go just to the inside of my road and I left click. Right click and quit. Looking at the internal lines. Beforehand, I've measured my road width and I've divided it by 3 to give me the offset. Going just to the inside of my left edge road display line, I left click. Now I can go and specify where I want to start the line. As I move my cursor, you can see the line automatically being drawn. Doing the same for the right hand side, indicating my start position and then moving it down to the end. Taking a break from inserting these markings, I'm now going to go and put in text and arrows. Before doing so, I'm going to go to the road markings diagram. I'm going to go and hatch it and then use that as a marking. Going to my CAD mode, selecting draw hatch, and using the automatic perimeter function. I switched on detect islands, which would then automatically ignore the islands within the hatching. I simply go inside what I want to hatch and left click, and then I right click and accept. Right click and quit. Then I'd go and select my hatch, go to tools, and go and create a new block. Reading my prompt, it says indicate base point of block. So I go to where my geometry lines intersect, press I and enter. And this would be the hook point when I insert the symbol. If I were to go back to tools, go to blocks, block manager, you can see what my demo block looks like. So I've beforehand gone and created numerous blocks that I would then use for my road markings. Going back to my road design, going back to my roads mode, signage, looking at arrows. There's a whole library of arrows you can go and select. Alternatively, I'm going to select the custom option. Select arrows, search for anything with 5 meters, and then go and scroll down to the most appropriate one. Import the selected arrow. Now this would be a good opportunity to explain find lanes and find gap. I want my arrows in the middle of the lanes, and I have 3 lanes, so I'm going to use the find lane option. And what that would do then is it would go and divide my road width into 3. Now before I use that function, I also want to go and use the find gap, and that would be a offset from a point that I go and click. So let's use 30 meters, click on find gap point. Again, I'm using that road display line I explained earlier. I'm clicking on my start point to find the gap from, and it will then automatically go and measure the 30 meters from where I clicked. So I'm going to click there again, and I'm going to go to the other side of the road. It divides it into 3, and I can go and place my cursor where I want the arrow to be. Selecting another arrow, clicking on import selected again because I don't want to change the symbol. Let's look at some road markings. I want to go and put this at a certain offset to the arrow. So I'm going to change that to 5 meters. Click on Find Lanes, and again find gap. Clicking on my road display line, clicking on the gap point, specifying which one I want to use, and then going across to the other side of the road. I want this in the center of my road, so I'm going to change Find Lanes to 1.